All right, we're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order per ORS 192.610 to 192.690. The meeting's being recorded and will be uploaded to our website sometime probably next week. So to begin with, I'd like to have Brent, our pastor, give our invocation.
All right, thank you. Stand. Thank you for your service as well. Father, we come to you tonight and we're thankful for this country and the blessing that we have here. Thankful for this community. Father, I want to say thank you for these that have stepped up to serve, to lead, and I would pray that you would tonight guide their thoughts, give them wisdom and discernment to make decisions that are good. Blessing more and more in this place. So thankful tonight. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Brent. Yeah. All right, I'm going to go ahead and conduct a roll call. Director Matt Day is on a planned trip, so he's absent. Director Miller here. Director Oliver here. Director McAdoo
Here.
and Silva is present. Directors, do you have anything to change on the agenda as written?
I've got during board comments, I'd like to present a little gift to the fire department.
Yep, under
Board comments, yeah.
Okay.
It can be then.
And then I want to bring up this,
Chief O'Connor, do you have any changes to the agenda? as
I do
written?
not.
Okay. All right. So our very first business item is election of board officers. So I'd like to make a motion that we appoint Ken Oliver to president of the fire board.
I will second that.
Okay, I have a motion on the floor with a second, open for discussion. Nope, I'm going to go ahead and call for the question. Director Miller,
Yes.
Director Oliver,
Yes.
Director McAdoo,
Yes.
and Silva is a yes. So with that being said, we could just swap spots.
Okay.
Now, that fast.
Grab your sign.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, man, I don't want to sit next to Matthew. I should have thought this through. Can we go back?
You've not even smelt or felt the
No,
pain.
I didn't. No. Damn.
So you could like switch with John and be in the camera more.
That's true. I like this out of sight.
So, yeah.
Yeah, you get to.
So don't complain about your
That's
position.
right.
You can't do that in a board meeting, Bill.
I don't control it.
All right, thank you, guys. Happy to take over this position. I got some pretty big shoes to fill. I know that. Matthew's been
He'll
doing it
do
a long time. I think you did it for quite a while too, John.
Just one time.
Oh,
yeah.
just once?
Yeah,
Oh.
just one time, yeah. Oh, gosh, probably 10 years ago.
Yeah, so anyway. So we got two other positions that we need to fill, and that's secretary and vice president.
Vice President and Secretary.
So does anybody have any?
Do we want to, can we wait till Matt gets back?
Do we have to do this?
No, you could do it. Whoever's vice president and secretary treasurer would continue to remain in the position until they're replaced. So you can just go right on. Yeah.
Yeah, so we can go through the process.
Can you can run the meeting and next meeting.
So we're gonna wait. So we should wait on electing those two positions.
Correct.
If we can wait, let's just wait till Matt
Let's
gets
just wait.
back.
Okay, so we're gonna put off waiting till next month to fill the secretary and vice
Okay.
president and keep those positions.
Okay.
So, all right, let's move on to B2, consent agenda. So we have the approval of June 16th meeting minutes from last month. Approved bills to be paid as presented, and the 2020, 2021 audit. So we've already got a report of that, and then we just need to put signatures on it.
So why did only one auditor apply? I mean, what, is it something that we're not like, I mean, you would think that we'd have at least 2 or 3.
We put it out, it was on our webpage, we advertised it, we sent it directly to 17 different vendors. And we got one.
17, really?
And we got one back.
We got to figure out what's going on because
Are we still blacklisted from the government?
I don't think so. I think it's like everything else. You go out and you're looking to buy something, you're looking to get something built, nobody wants to do it. And if you really want to pay a whole lot more money, then they'll take it on. But in this case, we're just like, here, we're just looking for vendors. And
You know, I know we don't have another option, but I still take issue with the comment he made last year about the PERS rate going up and everything else. The year before, yeah. And so to me, that was misinformation. And so that whenever something like that happens, it makes me wonder, is there something else? You know? But what other option do we have?
I have a
Right,
kids. Oh, really?
Nikki's, I can tell Nikki wants to fill in or what she knows.
So across other fire districts, it's pretty much a consensus that auditors are slim pickings. Nobody's getting their audit done. There's very few auditors that will take on fire districts right now. It's a general thing across Oregon right now. So there's not many people wanting to do it.
So there's some credentials that they have to meet, some sort of,
Certified public accountants.
so it's just a CPA can do it?
That's all we ask for.
Really? Wow. And you
With the
still,
appropriate
and
amount of staff and knowledge.
so that
wow.
was kind of the thing of it too. It's not like we put a bunch of stringent requirements in there. It was pretty
Yeah.
broad and still no hits.
And they raised the price quite a bit too, didn't they? It was 9,400.
What was it before?
Sure, it's all
It was like 8,000.
I don't remember what it was.
for 5 years, so it was, I believe it was less than what it is now for 3 years.
So we're doing a 3-year contract.
3-year.
But it said 90 days, we could, you know, either side could cancel with 90 days notice.
so, and just especially for Director Miller and Director Oliver, Director McAdoo and I learned something during the whole process of, you know, embezzlement and everything else, that we stuck with the same auditor for so many years. And it's actually, it is encouraged highly that every so many years, like every 3
Yeah,
3 to 5, we should be switching to a different company.
that makes
So
a lot of
just-
sense.
Yeah, so
Next round, we have to switch.
I would say so, you know. Well,
Yeah, that's the obstacle we have now is getting somebody to do it. This is what we got. So
Should be like insurance companies. They can't, somebody has to take over. for them.
well, we did do the impossible, restarting the fire department from scratch, right? So we'll find a way. I mean,
Sure.
no,
yeah, I think it's fine for this time around. But if, yeah, we'd kind of like to find other options.
And our local auditor, local CPAs don't have the staff
No.
to work for.
And you want a company that's been doing this for a long time, and they've been doing it for fire districts for a long time. Well, dollar doing it a fire department is different.
Well, even if it was.
Numbers
public
are
entity,
numbers, whether it's
you know,
private or a fire department. I mean, as long as the numbers are in the right columns,
Oh, yeah.
you know, you can tell the health of anything as long as you don't do an
Sure.
Enron economics.
But, you know, looking for a CPA or anything, you'd want them to understand how public entities work. And the budgeting's different than private. So anyway, so that's the things on the consent agenda. For a motion.
I'll make a motion that we adopt the consent agenda as provided.
Let's second that.
We have a motion from Matt and a second from John to approve the consent agenda. Is over for discussion. Okay. Have a- ask for a vote,
Yeah, call for the question.
call for the question.
Aye.
You want to,
Sorry, I'm getting,
you want to call everybody's name or do you?
yes, I'm getting used to this.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I did the same way.
John,
Aye.
Paul Miller,
Yes.
Matt,
Yes.
I'm a yes. Okay. All right. B3, Chief, want to give us an update on C800?
Did they fire that guy finally?
We did.
Awesome.
Good.
He's not out yet.
Yeah, he's by contract, he's there till August 15th. So the C800 radio system, everybody should be aware of what that is. Questions? No? Okay, so the C800 system is out there. We're a member of it. Well, we're a partner. So you can be a member or you can be a partner, which is kind of weird because if you're a partner, at least you have a seat at the table. If you're a member, then you just pay money and you don't get to say. So we're a partner and I sit on the board for that as a result of being the chief of Estacada. Recently, there was turnover in the board, obviously with myself, with quite a number of other top positions in the county. The three executive directors, which is Canby Police, Lake Oswego Fire Chief, and I can't remember the police chief from the other department, started looking at things, looking at numbers and saying this doesn't match up. Long story short, it's mismanagement of funds, and C800 Group is now about $4 million in change in the hole due to various lack of oversight in some big projects. And as a result, all the rest of us have to make up the difference. Now, depending on how much each agency paid, depends on how much you have to make up. Fortunately, Estacada did a good job over the past number of years of paying their share and did well with that. So our amount really isn't that big compared to most of the agencies in there, as such that I'm able to tell them that one way or another, yeah, we can pay our amount and we'll be free and clear. Not everybody has that ability with what's there. Some of the smaller entities out there owe some big dollars to this, and it's ugly. So right now, the list they gave me yesterday at our board meeting, they listed 103,331, but that also included our annual fee and the fire station alerting project management shortfall that I think we already made that payment for 3,900.
Yes.
So we've already paid that part of it. So I think we're down somewhere around 64,000, 65,000, something like that. I'm holding on to that. I'm not planning to pay that at all until after the first of the year, maybe later, depending on how things progress with the group. They have some infrastructure that they're looking to sell to Columbia County that's interested in buying it. I talked to the director over there as I know him from working over there. And he's talking like $1.5 million for what Clackamas County has to go there. They're wanting to use that money to help lessen this. So there's $1.5 million off the 4 million and change. So it's dwindling down that way. There's a couple other smaller things that might help bring that number down. And that all results in bringing down what everybody's gonna have to pay. They're going to, the executive board is going to go to the Oregon emergency legislation and ask for funding from them. There's a good chance that they'll see something probably out of ARPA funds that the state's still hanging on to, or there's a chance that they tell them just to go and pound sand and they don't get anything. Either way, we're thinking that there's going to be some money come from that, maybe the whole thing, maybe part of it. So potentially we won't owe anything. Potentially what we owe will be reduced. Worst case scenario, we pay $65,000, $70,000 or whatever it is. So when we get to that point, said I'm not going to even worry about it till after the first of the year. Then I'll have to come back here. We may, depending on what we see financially, we may have to take that out of contingency. But either way, we're at least we're in a position that we can make up that difference. A lot of places are not. The other alternative that I think everybody else is going to be stuck in if they can't finance or fund it is they're going to have to get a loan. That's the only way to pay it off. There's some deadlines with Motorola that this group has to pay, and they by contract they're bound to it. So,
And there's no recourse on this mismanagement or anything.
So the project manager, he was given us 30 days notice by contract. His last day is August 15th. He is insured. They've consulted with the attorneys, and the attorneys are saying you're going to spend that much just trying to get it through the court system. It's up to you, but probably just want to cut your losses and move forward. So court systems are very backed up, and that plays into it, but those options were looked at.
But, I think industry-wide, I know that he mismanaged, but industry-wide, all the radio systems are coming in higher than what a lot of people suspected they were gonna be. I mean, it's very expensive.
This is
System.
beyond radio
I know,
costs. I
but-
mean, you probably know some of the background
Right,
on that.
totally.
So I mean, it's even more than that, obviously, but not that didn't play into it by any means.
Right.
So either way, we're the little guy and we're stuck footing the bill. But like I said, there's some big numbers owed out there. Aurora's looking at $200,000. Canby's looking at 113.
Colton, they're really hurting.
Yeah, Colton's looking at 156. I mean,
That's half their budget.
right. That's more than half their budget.
Yeah, more than half their budget.
Clackamas has got a number of 635,
Wow.
which is just, they're already hurting.
Yep.
So, I mean, I'm feeling pretty fortunate, but still,
It's a hard pill to swallow.
right. They'd sent this to us like we had just finished our budget process here. I mean, just finalized everything and sent that, and I kind of blew a gasket with George at Canby. He ended up being the receiving end of it, but we got it ironed out as far as how it's going to work, and that they don't need money right now, that if we can make some things work, and so we're on really good terms, but it's just it's a tough one, like I say, a tough pill to swallow for everybody. So that's pretty much the lowdown on that. Definitely the Reader's Digest version, but kind of as a result of immersed myself in the C800 group in the last couple of months, just as a result of that. So.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
I'm upset to say the least.
Yeah. Pretty sad.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, B4, billing for services, cost recovery update.
Yeah, so in your packet is a resolution for cost recovery, and this comes from EF Recovery. This is a company that Estacada had used in the past for billing services. And it's more or less an update to what we already had, but it includes language so that whatever the insurance companies are using to get out of having to pay, this takes care of that.
I
Right
read
page.
that through pretty good. I think it looks okay to me.
Yeah, it's one of those where it's kind of like if we're gonna bill, this is what we
Yeah.
gotta do. As far as the billing and everything else on our end, it really doesn't change anything other than we got to get tied in with EF Recovery and collecting information and how that gets out to the crews and what they gather on scene. But it sounds like they have an app for it now and all that kind of stuff,
Oh,
so it's
that's
way
great.
easier than what it used to be.
Yeah.
So for resolution 22-10, new President Miller, you're gonna have to read through all that, but
President Oliver.
sorry.
What was
Just
the
looking
name
over
that
here
we
to
were
look
gonna
over.
call you, that the auditor, he
Oh, he's Kevin.
Kevin, there we go.
Yes.
President Kevin.
Kevin Oliver, yeah.
That's right, President Kevin.
We can adopt that just by the heading.
I know how we legally can do it real quick. So I'd like to make a resolution. I'd like to make a motion that we adopt resolution 22-10, a resolution of Estacada Rural Fire District number 69, implementing a public safety cost recovery program for fire protection, accident scene response, and traffic safety for emergency response incidents and all related services. And I'd check with the lawyers, just that title is enough.
Yeah.
We did that the last meeting or something
Yep.
like that. Yeah.
It's been that way for quite a few years. I'll second that motion.
Okay, so we've got a motion on the floor. We have open it for discussion.
I just noticed though on the billing, and it makes sense because, but I just, okay, on the billing, I totally get the engineer, driver position, driver engineer is $0 because we don't have engineers. We have
Oh.
firefighters, but really if we, but it does say driver.
What you see here is policy and operating guideline is proposed by EF Recovery. So we will have our own, and we'll adopt language that basically just states that
And it'll be like an addendum,
whatever the state fire marshal's conflagration rate is, that's
Okay.
what we're going to implement here.
because I also
Basically
was
the same
saying
thing.
the captain, we
Right.
could have a captain,
Right.
you know.
But that's all. Yeah, that'll be what we
Okay.
do adopt internally to make it happen,
Copy.
But you put $0 because we don't have this position.
more or less.
That makes sense.
Because even like volunteer time is gonna have an hourly rate attached to it. So.
It'll be a low salary.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it.
I call for the question. John,
Yes,
Paul,
Yes.
and Matt.
Yes.
And I'm a yes. Okay. So we looking to start getting reimbursement or?
This is basically the first step that we can do that. So when we're responding up Highway 224, we, like the guy we had last week that ODF is pursuing, that's wanting to burn regardless, those sorts of things. We'll actually be able to pursue it.
Yeah. So in a case like his, we go after someone who's fault.
Basically, we'd create a bill, we'd invoice them, and then if he doesn't pay it, well, we wouldn't invoice him. EF Recovery does that, and then from there, it's a third-party billing system. So,
Don't they do insurance companies, build the insurance companies first?
right, yeah.
Okay, next, staff reports, Chief O'Connor.
All right, so in operations, you guys got the report in front of you, but update on our apparatus builds. There's nothing new there, but we are still expecting delivery of the engines in September, October-ish. The tender is on the assembly line, so we're looking for April on that one, April 23. At 127 calls for service this last month, which was busy. Seems like we've been trending up busier and busier here lately. We have the recruit firefighter at graduation tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. at the church, same place we did it last year. I put a flyer in front of each one of you, so you have that. We continue to follow around our suspected arsonist here in town, continue to work with law enforcement. It seems to be the DA's office is where we're hanging up at. They've cited this person twice and they keep throwing it out. So we're pursuing some other avenues for it because she's clearly a problem. And it continues to grow. I limit how much information I put out there for, I'd like to think, obvious reasons, but just know we're still working it. We hosted the Clackamas County Fire Investigation Team meeting here at Estacada for the first time in quite a while.
yeah, I read that. That was great. It'd been, oh gosh, a long time.
We had first aid and CPR certification courses here for the Forest Service, kind of part of what we're trying to partner with the fire crews. So Lieutenant Ben Scotter was here and he did most of the training for that. And that was a good way to start off the summer for us. Volunteer activity remains high at 408 hours of volunteer shift time here at Estacada. We had 228 at the George Station, and then callback hours were 319 hours, and then volunteer duty officer continues to be very active, 662 hours, a lot. We got our budget in, resolution was done, it's into the tax assessor. The budget itself was due to the county clerk's office no later than September 30th. It is in. We completed the onboarding process for our 2 seasonals. They are on their working days. We got a donation from Anheuser-Busch for water. There's a great big pallet of water that looks like beer, but it's not beer. That's sitting over there in the bay. And Cheryl worked on that one. Didn't get anything. No.
Got the whole case.
Like drinking a lot of really light beer. I will leave the finances to finance report. Most of what you see in the report there is I'm taking the weeklies that I send you guys and I just copy and paste over. So there's really not a whole lot new there, but our Independence Day celebrations was a big success. We had a lot of people here. We were in the parade. We did a water ball tournament out here. If you didn't see that going on, a couple of you were judges, but crews really enjoyed that. Had a couple of firework caused fires late night on the 4th, which kept us up. One of them being over here on the banks of the Lake Estacada, where somebody had shot something from the other side, and of course it burned on the rock face, which is about as straight up and down. Took a little bit of time to get to. The pancake breakfast was very well attended. We had over 280 people come to that, and we got quite a bit in donations. I can't remember what the dollar amount was, but it was in the thousands. So, and we had an incident here on the 10th. I just got this one the other day with C Shift, where we had a code save. A 46-year-old male at Milo MacIver. We got reported as a seizure. Ends up it was a cardiac arrest. Crew got there, did CPR, went through the cardiac arrest protocol, and did their thing there. Shocked him 3 times. By the time he was put in the AMR ambulance, he had a pulse back. They took him to Kaiser Sunnyside. And this was after 20 minutes of CPR. They made the drive there. He regained the pulse and kept the pulse. It was determined he had a massive heart attack. Sent him to the cath lab, and a week later, he walked out of the hospital unassisted, just like it was another day. So this was the classic code save from start to finish. Usually if we're doing CPR for 20 minutes, it doesn't have that kind of outcome, but this one definitely did. So at some point here, we'll do a citation for the crew that was involved in that one. That is my report.
On the pancake feed, something we might consider, we had the road blocked off there and people couldn't get in there to park. Did you hear that?
Yes.
Yeah, we had several complaints.
Yep.
I'm the guy to go to.
That's because we sent him your way.
That's right.
Oh.
You got a target on your back.
I just thought I'd bring it up.
No, we actually, I talked with the city manager, and we discussed the issue with road closures and traffic plan, because there's a lot going on here on the 4th of July. There's no other day of the year that happens. So
Sure.
it turns out it wasn't just all us. There was some issues on their traffic control people that set up and how they did things. So I didn't feel as bad after that, but we will coordinate better for the
Yeah,
next year.
I mean, we thought it'd be great to get the water ball thing set up,
Yeah.
before the parade. Well, I think next year we'll wait and get everything ready to go.
Another thing that kind of caused the problem is that farmer's market, they moved it down to the parking area in front of the station.
Yeah,
And that started at 9 o'clock.
they've been doing that. They originally wanted to do it over here, and we had the academy going on, so that's not going to work. And then it's decided to move it over there, and that was, they didn't ask it to do it, but it's all right.
What's all that post-COVID planning? We have to get back into the groove. So financial report.
Yes, so finances are as reported in front of you. We're still finishing up last fiscal year, and you'll still see some of those things trickling in as we close out the fiscal year. There's still some outstanding POs that need to be applied to the budget. And then some last minute expenditures that happen at the end of the month if we didn't get billed for until July, but we have to put those in June. So I'll be working on that for the next couple weeks, and our LoSAP check got cashed today, so it actually got deposited into the account, and then all of our volunteers who received a contribution will get their contribution distributed. So that was exciting.
Thank you, guys. Reports. I told Nikki here that I'm hoping to someday see Laurel from ERFD and ask her who's got a better reporting program, Clackamas Fire.
It's gonna be us.
It's always
It's gonna be,
We already know the answer.
Clackamas Fire has the best reporting at low time.
Challenge accepted.
Nikki's on a challenge.
okay.
Get
Sounds good.
feedback from them. So
That's
yeah,
all I have for you guys.
great job, you guys.
Thank you.
Okay, public comments. We'll give it a few minutes here. we can let this hang, Alan, and bring it up after maybe board comments. We'll just throw it out there and see if anybody has put a hand up or anything. Okay, board comments?
I wanted to, Cheryl asked me to bring this up, the board members' education program, which gives us 2% credit. At least 2 members of the board have enrolled in the SEO Board Leadership Academy. So this helps to reduce our insurance premium for the year. I plan on attending the Board Leadership Academy or the Fire District Directors Academy. I haven't decided yet. But here's a copy for everybody, and somebody pick one. You can watch them online, and or you can go to the academy.
They have live.
Yeah, they have it live.
Okay.
It's $75 if you go to Salem plus gas.
And Ken, only you and Director Miller need his copy. You know why? Because I'm already done.
Technically, you are, but here's how it works. On the top part, 2 of you need to at least enroll to that, and then I can count it. If you enroll and don't go, I don't care. And then on the bottom part, you need to all of you, all 5 of you need to do something on that bottom part. Silva has already done his share, so he's.
Oh, you mean you're already done it? You've done it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you meant you were
I
done.
said
No,
it's
no,
up
I-
to
as a
you.
director,
So
the director every
he's
year, I
golden.
make sure to do it
all
early.
4 of you now need to do something on the bottom part,
Wonderful.
and we can get 2 more percent.
The
on
bottom part,
insurance.
the boardroom dancing.
Yes, you
Yeah,
can do
yeah,
that and tell me about it, and I will be just happy as can be.
We haven't done one of them since the 60s in the engine room.
The boardroom dancing?
Yeah.
Okay. 2 of us
Only
have to do
kidding.
the 35 or 36.
2 of you have to do, yes, the top 2,
Okay.
enroll in those 2 or.
2 or more than that.
Yeah, that the SDIO puts on.
And all of us have to do one of them down below.
Yes, and except for Director Silva, who has already done this.
So somehow we have to get this
And
information
then
to.
we will get 4 more percent off of our insurance, making it the full 10% this year.
Cool. Probably haven't done that in a while.
We used to do it all the time,
We should do it all
but
the
it's been probably 3 or 4 years.
I don't think we've ever missed it.
All right.
They were doing it when I was working. over there.
How do we get access to the times and everything on this of when it's going on?
Do you get a copy of email from SDAO?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Okay, all the information is
Go to
there.
their website.
Yeah, go to their website.
All right.
And I sent this out in April too. So
We were waiting for you to physically tell us.
We're all married. We don't respond until we
I
get screamed at.
absolutely told you that we have till November. I shouldn't have told you that.
Oh, yeah, really?
All right.
I don't hear no screaming yet, so.
Can you raise your voice a little?
That's right, yeah.
So us
So
males
did
can
you
really
hear
get a
that?
clue?
Can you have until September to get this done?
All right. Is that it for you, John?
Yeah.
Any other board comments? I do have one.
What was the deal with the person about the firefighting and writing to all the different fire stations, like Shay? Like she just decided she was gonna wake up and send all the fire districts.
Apparently so.
Yes, that's where I read
It's
it.
in
I thought
correspondence.
that was
I was like, what?
Correspondence.
I thought that
Oh,
was pretty
okay.
cool though.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like,
I didn't get a chance to see that, bro.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Oh, okay. I'll read that. Okay, so I've got something I wanted to present to the fire department. This similar thing hangs on my wall at home in my office, because I think it's absolutely a cool thing.
Oh, I've seen that, yeah.
So I wanted to get one and give it to the fire department to hang on the wall.
Yeah.
We already looked at it. You guys look. But anyway, here you go.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Now we're gonna put it back in the box and we're gonna do the same thing at the volunteer association meeting and then operationally, it's your job to figure out what it is.
I will send that off to the operations.
There you go. So do we-
Thank you, Ken.
Yep.
Thanks, Ben.
You're welcome. I think it's a pretty cool thing. I think it says a lot about why we're here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well said.
So anybody or public comments? Nobody? Nope. Okay. Correspondence. And that's from Shay. You want me to read?
No. It was just FYI. I just was wondering, like.
Yeah.
I mean, she went and wrote all the fire districts in Oregon. I just like. And it's personally written. It's not like, you know.
Yeah.
Typed up.
Cool.
Yeah, that was cool, yeah.
Any community items?
No.
That brings up, I got a community item. The community center started their breakfasts, morning breakfasts back up. Used to be on Wednesday, they're Thursdays mornings, starts at 8:30. And once in a while, the guys that take an engine over there, and the old time seniors would be glad to see them, so if anybody wants to take advantage of that, every Thursday morning, 8:30.
We used to do blood pressure checks
Over there,
over there too years ago.
yeah.
And it goes 8:30 till how late?
Oh, just went about 9:30 at the latest, yeah. Whatever it takes.
And what do they cook for breakfast?
They cook the breakfast right there. It rotates
Oh.
every month. so. And I'm not seeing anybody down to the community breakfast on the third Saturday of every month at Clackamas Valley Baptist Church in their fellowship hall. They have a community breakfast been going on for 6 or 7 years, so, and it's free.
Free, what? You like that?
It's the third Saturday of every month from 8 to 11.
You're taking us on a tour all over town. now.
Right. Well, John knows all the spots. Right.
The spring water will start up in September,
Yeah,
the first
it'll do it
Saturday
during
of
the summer.
September, yeah.
Yeah, John has all, well, he doesn't even have it on his calendar anymore. He's got a memo.
Okay. Starting to wonder how good a cook Shirley is.
It's a good
Good,
one.
yeah.
That was well said. He eats out a
Yeah, I
lot.
think you're gonna get a phone call for sure.
Yeah.
a little later tonight. or
Next time I see Shirley,
Yeah.
you'll see me with a red handprint on my face. She's probably watching.
All right, so our next board meeting is going to be held on August 18th at 7 PM. Here. If there's nothing else.
You believe August is gonna be here?
So, question for you, Matthew.
My list
Do I
of getting
sign
things
these now?
done